So it's that time when Grooverider slips into his Jackanory mode and opens up the Jungle Book. It's chapter 2, and we're going to check the problems that came with being a jungle DJ back in the day, getting turned away from clubs, getting paid a tenner for a set, travelling 200 miles to get one record cut, how times change. Let's go in.
So welcome back to the Jungle Book, boys and girls. I assume you all heard and enjoyed the first instalment. And if you didn't catch it, why the hell not? The rider doesn't appreciate the slackers. Well, if you didn't know, this is my guide to the story of jungle drum and bass. We're at the point now when jungle music was first established as its own genre. More nights were kicking off, and the name was getting a bit of a rep for itself. So sit back, relax, and let's rewind to 1993. Here's DJ Hype.
I remember doing Jungle Fever in Coventry, 93. You know, it was the first sort of proper drum and bass jungle party to be held outside of London with a 2,500-3,000 capacity. And I think I was sitting with Trace and DJ Ron. I remember one of them saying, look at it, man, we've created this. And it wasn't a media frenzy that, you know, it's not like it became the trendy thing. It did later, but we'd already established it.
Jungle music was standing on its own 2 feet. We were doing our own thing back then, but with success came a bit of a bad rep. Here's Fabio.
I played at a club in Holborn called Gray's, and I turned up there, and the promoter was like, oh, I can't have you playing there. And I was like, why? And he said, well, if I play in the club, they could lose their license. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you know, you're on some blacklist. So for some bizarre reason, because of the whole jungle thing, I got blacklisted from playing in quite a few clubs in the West End, which I thought was really anal and ridiculous. But that didn't last for long, though.
That's right, they couldn't hold us down for long. During this time, future legends of the game were getting drawn to the jungle sound. Here's Ram Records' main man, Andy C.
Elevation was the main one. Back in the day, I gave him my first break DJing, so I returned the favour by handing out flyers outside of all the clubs, and through that we met Sting. He'd been doing the legendary Telepathy raves in Marshgate Lane. He decided to put the Telepathy name to this club with the history, bring people in, and he was like, I want to do a night with this new jungle music. You know, I was down there every Friday night from 10 till 6 in the morning with my records, just waiting for an opportunity to go on. And some nights I might not go on, some nights I might play 30-40 minutes, get paid 10 quid, something like that.
Another young raver who'd go on to big things in the game was DJ Fresh.
I was doing my thing at school, and there were some kids that were a lot older than me, and they used to sneak out to raves in the middle of the night, and they used to bring me back these tapes. And I was so excited about it, because to me it sounded like finally there was music that one person could make on their own.
The man, Simon Bassline Smith.
The genre, jungle, had been going for a couple of years. Everybody knew what it was called. People knew the sound. Record labels like Moving Shadow, Prototype, Formation, Ram, Metalheads, Absolute 2. They were kind of the biggest labels at that time, and they were putting out a lot of tracks, a lot of quality tracks.
Yeah, there were a lot of quality tracks and labels knocking around then, but getting tunes to the big dogs like myself and Fabio was a tricky task. Here's Goldie.
We used to go to Harringay Record, you know, go to Green Lanes Records, and I remember there's a guy called Chris. He used to work behind the counter, and rumour had it that Grooverider came to this shop. I took a dub plate down and I gave it to Chris to give to Grooverider, and he gave it to him, and I remember going to Rage and hearing him play it, which, you know, at that time completely blew my brains to pieces. It was like, I think it was Killer Muffin he played, yeah, Killer Muffin, and it blew my mind. It was like he played it.
You kids have it so easy, sending me tracks on AIM all day. This is how it went down back then. DJ Fresh.
It was much more communal. There was a place called Music House where everybody in the entire scene from all over the world used to come week in, week out.
Shy Effects.
The Music House would be there from, I say, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes you wouldn't leave till midnight, hoping that someone could hear one of your tracks and cut it. You'll occasionally meet up with someone like Ronnie or Dillinger or someone, but you spend a lot of wasted hours in that place.
I live in Derby, which is 150 miles away from London. Every single Friday morning, without fail, I'd be in my car. I used to go to Red Records in Soho, Black Market in Soho. I'd basically go for about 8 record shops dotted all around London. Probably spend £100, which way back then was a hell of a lot of money. And then I'd race home and then go out and do 2 or 3 gigs.
That's how we used to get down back then. So if you didn't know, now you know. So join me for Chapter 3 in a few weeks. It's going to be crazy, so don't sleep.
It's a drum and bass history lesson with the Grooverider on the BBC.
Now big up all the jungle river living in the place. I like to crew. I'll jump up massive. For real, this is not a...
Great hearing those about back in the day, because it's where I met a load of people, man. It's Music House was this grungy, horrible place, and what you used to have to do, it was first come, first serve. So if you went there, you got there early, you'd get your stuff done, but sometimes you would have to wait, seriously, for about 6 hours. So you'd go away, come back, go home, have a quick nap, come back, and you still had about 2 hours left, man, and everyone used to go there. You know, there was none of this AIM, there was none of this computer business. It was the only place where you could go and cut your stuff, and great days, great days. And you used to have to pay £30 for a plate. That half the time, the quality wasn't great, but it was a labour of love, man, and you had to do it. You had to do it in them days. It weren't like just sitting at home on AIM and clicking a little button. And, you know, in a funny sort of way, it helped the whole jungle community because we saw each other nearly every day. So you don't get so much of that kind of like, oh, haven't seen Andy C for 7-8 months. Andy would be there every single day, like Hype, like Ryder. And we used to be like hanging around, kind of like wolves looking for tunes. So a lot of the times I wasn't even cutting nothing. I was there on the scrounge, just hanging around, and you knew someone would come in with some big beat, man. And I'll tell you another thing that used to happen if you used to have a tune, because everyone could hear the tune that you was cutting. So if you had a tune, everyone was sitting down listening to it, and they used to be like, nah, I'm not interested in that. Or, yes, as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to ring the artist, and he better post me a DAT ASAP. It was like school, man. So big up to all the Music House crew, to all the JTS crew, also to Copy Master Stuart down there, he's still cutting dubs. And remember, the dub plate business is not over. Andy C does not play CDs or Serato. Neither does Hype. Neither does Mampy Swift. Neither does Friction, man. Those guys are still doing their thing, paying crazy dough for their plate, so respect to them. We go on. We have got this Clips mini mix coming up soon, but here's something brand new from DJ Marky. It's Fabio, baby.
I'm a hardback Gary, man. All right?